Hello, and welcome to the June 2023 Immigration Update for English Learner Portal. This information is current as of June 4th, 2023. As you know, Title 42 ended on May 11th with the ending of the public health emergency. And did we see the predicted rise of people crossing the border? Actually, we did not. There were about 10,000 people crossing each day before the end of Title 42, and now we're at about 3,000 people crossing per day. A dramatic drop despite all the predictions that numbers would increase after Title 42 ended. So the new rule that I mentioned in the previous update went into place for would-be asylum seekers on May 12th and will be in effect for 2 years, ending on May 11th, 2025. And it applies only to people who enter by land or water at the U.S.-Mexico border. With these new measures in place, most migrants are barred from asylum if they cross the border between ports of entry if they have not requested asylum in another country first. There are some exceptions, such as children or people with medical emergencies. However, the asylum infrastructure in the countries that migrants transit through, like Mexico, El Salvador, Guatemala, and Honduras, are in worse shape than the U.S. system and don't offer many refugee protections. So if you're seeking asylum, you will be presumed ineligible for asylum unless you make an appointment through the CBP-1 app, you have received permission to travel to the United States through a parole process, like the humanitarian parole process that we've discussed before, or you sought protection in another country on the way to the United States and were denied protection. To help prevent migrants from making the dangerous journey through the Darien Gap on the way to the U.S. border, the United States plans to open over 100 regional processing centers in Colombia, Costa Rica, Ecuador, and Guatemala, with the Safe Mobility Office in Guatemala opening for online appointments on June 12th. The opening dates for the other countries have not yet been announced. Migrants will request appointments on their phones, and those eligible can be referred to refugee resettlement, humanitarian parole, family reunification, or temporary work opportunities in the United States with employment visas. So let's look at the impact on unaccompanied children. Remember, unaccompanied children, Title 42 did not apply to them. But here we're looking at a chart of encounters for this current fiscal year of the number of unaccompanied children who at the U.S.-Mexico border. And the numbers have fluctuated since October. And while we don't yet have the numbers for May, we are seeing a total of 81,474 unaccompanied children who crossed the border. And that comes out to, as of June 2nd, just over 7,000 unaccompanied children who are actually in HHS custody. And it's declined since May to the second lowest number all fiscal year. And before we end this update, just a brief mention on DACA, since it's been back in court. On June 1st, DACA was again back in the courts during a hearing in Texas in front of a U.S. district judge, this is the same judge who previously found that DACA was illegal in a decision that effectively shut out new DACA applicants. So these 9 states here asked the judge to end DACA over a 2-year period. But as of now, DACA is still in place and still just taking renewal applications, not new applications. The judge's ruling could come at any time, and if the judge rules that DACA is unlawful, which many are predicting the judge will, the administration is likely going to appeal it, and it'll likely go again up to the Supreme Court, so there will still be more time for DACA to remain in place. For more details on DACA and to get a better understanding of the legal journey facing our immigrant students and the process of asylum, please sign up for my courses. The Legal Journey Pathway includes information on the immigration legal system, and the What's Happening in Immigration News course focuses on the bus asylum seekers from last spring to the fall, and the buses have started again. And it still has important information on the journey from Latin America and what families must face when arriving to the United States. Thanks for listening, and see you next month.